The lockdown actions taken by the UK government come at an enormous cost. Huge amounts of capacity have been taken out of the economy. Fewer goods and services are being produced, and living standards are being hit. Covid-19 is a supply shock with little precedent. It differs from the oil crisis of the 1970s, which led to a rise in costs and a change in industrial structure as relative prices changed. It differs from a major war because the public hasn't been drafted into the war effort. We simply have large numbers of people effectively banned from working and from producing. The government has been right to act to prevent unnecessary business failures and to support those who have lost employment. But how do we finance the interventions, estimated at £50 billion by the Institute for Fiscal Studies? There are three ways the government can finance this intervention, but there is no silver bullet. History tells us that printing money during short and partial supply shocks presents risks. In particular, it has become difficult to wean countries off the drug of inflation. Taxation may be unappealing to supporters of free markets, but there is a case for emergency tax increases passed by primary legislation with a strict time limit, perhaps levied on incomes above £25,000 and proportional to income to fund the direct costs of the government decisions. At least that will be clear and transparent. Most economists and commentators, though, suggest that the UK should expand its borrowing and its debt, and, so it is often argued, stimulate the economy. But if borrowing leads to stimulus, a debatable proposition in itself, it will do little to solve the problem. People who are not working are banned from working, and people who are not consuming are effectively banned from consuming. We cannot stimulate our way out of that problem. We might hope we can repay the extra debt as we did after the Second World War, but governments are reaching for the credit card alarmingly often, and our population is ageing too. And the subliminal message of fiscal stimulus rhetoric is that we are getting something for nothing. There is no free lunch here. We cannot sweep the costs of lockdown under the carpet. If we go back to other supply shocks, the US tried to finance the Vietnam War by fiscal stimulus and printing money. We tried the same policy in the 1970s oil crisis. It ended badly both times. Perhaps we have to face up to as much of the fiscal cost as possible and do so now.